Time to call the Morehaven at 6 p.m. Roll call. Jake.
Present.
Alicia.
Here.
Mark.
Here.
Jan.
Here.
Myself and Alicia.
Ashley. Here.
And Larry are here. Item number 1, discuss the 23-24 budget. Mr. Tibbs, the floor is yours.
First, to start off with give you some numbers we had to deal with this year. Our property insurance went up by 29%. The general liability went up by 23%. Workers' comp went up by 19%, and health insurance went up by 12%. And our FRS went up by 25%. So I guess, everybody's experiencing those kind of increases everywhere, but that those coming in, that's kind of what we had to deal with. This upcoming year. The other thing that we had to keep in mind, we have to go to that $50 an hour minimum wage by 2026. Currently, our minimum wage is 13, and 20. If we do the 5% COLA in 24, that'll take it up to 13.65. If we do in 25, if we do another 5% COLA, that'll take it to 14.34. And then in 26, if we do the 5% COLA, that'll take it to 15.06. So we'll at least get into that. We'll qualify for that one. So like I said, so that's what we programmed in with the 5% COLA to do that. So like I said, I think we have a couple things laying out. One is just the top one there. I think it's just a copy of the ad that will be put in the paper. It's not finalized yet, but it's just to show you what that would look like when it does its paper. If we go down by if we start to go down by the city budgets itself, the page 1 is an overall snap of the city by fund, revenues and expenditures by fund. It basically just goes to show that we have a balanced budget. Revenues equal expenditures, and like I said, this is kind of the basis for what we put the ad together with. Go down to page 2, you start getting into that is the general fund revenues. A lot of the numbers like ad 1, you set that right here previously. Local option gas tax, we get those numbers from the state. The infrastructure surtax, we get that from the state. Franchise fees, we get that from the state. State revenue sharing, we also get that from the state. Local government asset sales tax, we get that from the state. So a lot of these numbers, come from the state. The rest of them, we have developed those numbers based on past budgets and also where we're at right now. So we the overall general fund budgets, revenue budget's going up a little bit, but we have reduced the transfers from our utilities by a little bit. So that's obviously probably a pretty good thing too. So, but that's does anybody have any particular questions on general fund revenues?
On the mowing revenues, the DOT, I know that's the contract. What's the other, like miscellaneous yards that we mow for people, or is that $1,000 in there for us to add? Well, it's under revenue, so is that just a guesstimate on what we collect from derelict yards that she mows?
Because we do have, mowing and mowing revenues.
I believe, because this is just carried over every budget and it's put in there automatically, and I believe David told me before it was for the ones
So
that were coming in.
Or it could be less.
Yeah, it could go up, it could go down.
On 1,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
We go to page 3, that's administration expenses. it did go up overall. But like I said, the top part is there's 5% COLA in the salaries. That, of course, that's going to drive up FICA, retirement, workers' comp, and those line items. We have some money in there for Jim LaRue, Craig A. Smith, and CAS governmental accounting, accounting and auditing. That number, it comes from our agreement with the auditors. That's probably going to go up some because there are they keep issuing new standards that come out that requires the auditor to do more work, and they're going to pass that on to us as as it happens. Like I said, it's not a lot of
freezer wages.
When you bring up this COLA, this 5%, is that what every employee is going to get a 5% raise?
Yes.
From this budget?
And if you, at the very back, there is a salary sheet with everybody.
I hadn't made it that far
Yeah,
through it.
everybody.
Okay.
And we apologize because we intended to have this out to you.
Well,
Yesterday, but we didn't work yesterday.
We'll have not to interrupt your motion, but we'll be able to take this home for a minute and look at it. We're not approving anything today.
Mm-mm.
right?
This-
Okay.
this is just a workshop.
Suggestions and listening to it.
Mhm.
Okay. Continue, Mary, please, if you're still on page 3 there.
In other contractual services, that's just a bunch of things that we have. That copier maintenance, different things that renew every year, like the municipal code, annual fee. Those are just annual charges that we have. We left a little bit of money in there for travel. If anybody does end up doing any kind of traveling this coming year, communications is just based on our estimates on what charges should be coming up. But, primarily based on what we're doing now. Rental lease, we've got post machine, copier lease, liability insurance. Again, that comes from the carrier, so that's that number is just
You did say that was gonna go up there, right?
That's figured
that
in.
is the increased amount.
Okay.
And like I said, you can tell if we're looking at last year's, it's about a $15,000
Mm-hmm.
increase.
And the fireworks in with that, Larry?
They're in there somewhere.
That's in the parks.
Yeah, they're down a little far on a different page.
Under promotional activities, we didn't put Toys for Tots on there. And we had talked about giving them money when Sean Crosby came.
Yeah, he left the miscellaneous,
Mm-hmm.
the $1,000 there.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
it's actually listed.
If you, like I said, if there's, we picked up the Future Business of America, I believe they were here.
Mhm. Yeah.
Veterans Cross America does July 4th.
Wreaths across, special
Mhm.
wreath.
Yes,
Okay.
it's Reese Across America.
That's at December, right?
Yeah, December
Okay.
17th, I believe.
We left project graduation in there. The EDC, and Florida Challenger, but the only thing that we have budgeted is the tournament.
Mhm. Just to make sure Toys for Tots gets on our list.
What was
We
that
talked
again?
about 500.
Toys for
Yeah,
Tots,
I think
where we have the
it's
miscellaneous, we can,
500 for them.
yeah.
They were in.
But he's got that under miscellaneous, so if you don't put that actually on there, you're
I
still,
just wanted to make sure, I just want us to make sure they get it,
I'll put miscellaneous and then put that in parentheses.
Thank you.
so it's identified as-
because that's a big deal.
Other current charges, and several different things, advertisements, mailings, credit card fees, and other miscellaneous type expenses that really don't fit anywhere else. And then I said the coding structure, that's provided by the state of Florida, so, they have identified this coding structure, so we typically have to code according to what they set up.
Mhm.
Because we do send all this data into the state at the end of the year, so they
And we can't charge them to run the credit card, that's a lot of things.
Well, if you look at the other side at the revenues,
Mhm.
where it has credit card fees also in the miscellaneous revenues, it washes
Oh,
all the
okay.
customers if they have credit card fees.
It is
If
tacked
they do
on
pay it,
Okay.
yes. Mhm.
The office supplies, gas, fuel, a little bit of money for memberships and subscriptions.
Do you buy office supplies from Amazon?
Mhm.
'Cause there's a lot of Amazon, I see a lot of Amazon.
Yeah, we were using Quill and it's a
You-
lot cheaper to go
Mhm.
Amazon.
Did you adjust the fuel?
They called up here one
Just
day,
a lump sum.
Amazon did.
For the garbage,
Wanted to know
because the one that you gave us the other day, we were
Yeah, she ordered nothing.
And
bringing in
we're
whole
running
fuel on the garbage.
No.
all mine there through the end of August, it's 46.69, so we're about, should be about
Yeah.
online there.
Okay.
Well, that line item is just for our office area, like it's operating supplies and fuel, like when we run the errands and stuff, every so often, we'll get a little bit of gas in our vehicles if we're the one doing it.
Okay.
And like I said, we don't have anything programmed for capital outlay and admin this year. Page 4 is legal, basically just same thing as previous years. Your contract. Page 5 is fire, again, same thing as previous years. Page 5A is animal control.
Did they ever come back and ask us of a truck?
They have not, they
Okay,
asked us last year, they have not asked this year.
But we never did give them anything, right?
No,
Okay.
they got the original, what I understand, original used truck that we gave them
Right,
some time ago.
I was just curious.
Because we brought this up at last year's budget meeting and there was no consensus to
Yeah,
give them a vehicle. Page 6, is building expenses, primarily code. It's actually down a little bit because of the differences in salaries between previous one and current one. But like I said, the changes, the other things are reflected in there. We really don't have anything new in there other than we're continuing to leave some money in there for training and also for memberships.
Yeah, so there's enough training for her to get completely certified and all. I mean, I don't know what else she has left to do, but
There's
Feels like it's
four
kinda
four certifications, and each of them stand on their own. She's completed one.
Okay.
So option, you can go to 2, 3, and 4. They're individual ones. They're not, part of any broad certification.
Okay.
They're each individual ones, but yeah, I'm sure she would like to continue to.
right, it just kind of looks low to be able to.
My suggestion on that is down the office supplies. They're not using that a lot, and go up on the training.
But when you say there's four levels of training, so she's completed her basic. I've got my Florida State Code Enforcement license now, correct?
It's a whole.
Okay.
They have
Yeah.
four courses you go through, and the 4 different subjects.
like math, English, science,
Yeah.
not for her, but I'm saying just like math,
Yeah.
English, science.
But they're all related to code, but they're individual courses. So you pass that course, you get that certification. You pass the next course, you get that certification in 3 and 4. So you can, although the statute does not require them to have
All
any certification whatsoever, but we do. We have put that in our that we do, or require certification. So we'll continue to. I know she wants to go to additional ones, and we'll continue to support them. Right now, it's very hard to get into. They're so crowded.
That's what took so long. All right. Not to talk out of turn here, but she's got her certification. We haven't given her any. I know you're going to give her the 5%. I know we're going to give her a 5% raise, but she was hired at this, and a lot of times if you hire someone at this and then they get their certification, you give them, a bump up in their pay. If there's if there's anything left over after the 5%, I would like to see her get a little more because it's hard to get a code enforcement officer. Here, she didn't mess around on getting the certification that she has as soon as it was available. And she is a big benefit.
Yeah, she's only getting 80 cents at 5%.
The 35,
What'd you say it was?
80 cents.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
And we typically do that for licenses in water, wastewater.
That's what I was getting at. She's our code enforcement officer. She needs to make more than 80 cents. She's got a certification.
I mean, at least $1, don't you think?
Or you could, if you're going to do, what's your other raise you give? You give 5% across the board, or then you give merit raises. Or if this council is going to allow these two to give merit raises, it could come out of that.
I think I don't think they very typically give merit raises because you didn't have enough funding to do both a COLA and a merit. But like you say, we have funded, particularly in the past, I know water and wastewater, they get the license.
Okay.
We give them, $1 or plus depending on which license they're going to.
I think like Jen said that for her certification, she ought to at least get $1.
yeah.
For each one, I mean,
Yeah. And that
but she is
might
taking the
encourage her
time to
keep
go and
going.
expand her knowledge. So.
She's got to continue to do her job and
Plus, it'll give her incentive to do more.
print
The
out
35,642, that's if with just the 5%.
Yes. I will make that adjustment when we do it.
It's just a suggestion. I mean,
No, I would rather her be,
Hey, then stay, then
Yeah.
have to
we
train somebody else.
there's not a lot of people come in putting applications
Absolutely. Took us forever to get her.
in. I mean, everybody's got faults, but yeah, I would like to see. All right, thank you. All right, Larry, continue, please.
Page 7 is flood or stormwater. Again, that's a one person kind of I won't say department, but
And I'm sorry, I'm just rolling it through my head. You're saying $1 plus the 80 cent, plus the 5%.
Well, I was thinking $1 overall, but when you said she's only getting
Yeah,
couple
I'm thinking
pennies.
the 5% plus the $1 for the license. I mean, if we got the budget for it.
I think that's,
that's how I wrote
I
it down.
think so.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Sorry, it just ran through my head, so I wanted to clarify that real quick.
Like I said, just one person department. There's a typo up top there that PW thing should have been there, so I scratched out. But they're really like a one person department. They're pretty much the FICA retirement, all the health insurance, all that comes from the salary tables. We tried to keep some other line items in there, just.
I'm fine with that for the expenses.
We were also, a number of repair and maintenance, well, this current year, hopefully we'll get down,
Where would you, if that truck breaks down and we have to get an equipment rental truck, where would you pull that money out of flood expenses or take it out of another department and transfer it back? 'Cause I don't, we just talked about renting one possibly,
Isn't
but
this the truck we were talking about buying?
the storm, the grab,
yeah,
the grab truck.
We were
they're,
talking about pulling it out of capital, right?
they're looking for, right now, kind of looking for a grant.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah,
right.
through
Well, we
stormwater.
said we could do it from capital.
Okay,
So we do for capital, if we did, yeah.
Yeah, there's other ways. I shouldn't ask that question. Yeah, you're fine. I should. ask that question.
40 hours.
It does, yeah. It does.
Yeah.
We know it does.
I know that.
Just just curious, how old is that truck?
It's 40 hours.
Oh, gosh.
That's fine.
Well,
Oh, so it's time to replace that
It's-
thing anyway.
Yeah.
we got a lot of new vehicles,
Okay,
garbage trucks.
I did get a quote on the equivalent size truck.
okay.
Like I said, if Connie's not successful,
We'll talk about it in capital. Sounds good.
His raise at that amount.
Mhm.
page 8 is streets. Again, that's a one-person department. But we, obviously going to budget the salary out. And all the, most of the items are tied to the salary, the salary sheet. This part gets gets the gas tax money.
Yes.
Local option gas tax. And like I said, we just have basic, expenditures in there, so.
Mhm.
Page 9 is parks. Top part is, is projecting the new salaries, for retirement, health insurance, all that is coming forward from the salary benefit sheet. Other contractual services, we have 10,000 stuck in there for Christmas decorations.
Mhm.
That,
Yeah, because we talked about that, we're trying to buy a tree and
Trying to buy a
stuff.
tree this year, yeah.
yeah, so.
And that includes the ones that go on the poles through town too.
Mhm.
I think that's
They need to be replaced.
between 5,000 and 6,000. The com-
That's what we paid, they were ours and we.
Actually, I changed the design decoration this year because the other ones were half not lit,
Yeah, I was-
and they've been here
Yeah.
forever.
50,000.
Every pole out of 2 or 3 was not.
Right.
Hmm.
They took turns. They
Yeah.
blinked.
Yeah.
One on this side, one night, and on the other side, the other night blinked.
When they came on the next night, a different one was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told him we had issues with them this year, so we wanted to change.
And, getting down to repair maintenance equipment, repair maintenance park facilities, the current charges, fuel,
Fireworks, Mark.
fireworks. Equipment, it's, we're slightly over last year's budget, but with the increases that we had, we're probably actually a little bit under. And it's probably because we've had a new person in parks this year. Page 10 is the warehouse. The uniform line item here is large because of the mats and wipers and everything, those supplies from the uniform company. We got some money in for Terminex. Communications, utilities, liability insurance, that comes from the other page. So we are coming a little bit over last year's budget, but probably about where, so.
What's
Should be,
tablet?
because that position was vacant for part of this year.
Mhm.
So that's why, for a good part of this year, so that's why the date's not accurate. And we'll feedback again, he's doing
What's that?
a good job.
That's probably what he uses to plug into the truck. Mhm. I was gonna ask the same thing and then it dawned on me. Welcome.
Page 11 is electric, moving in right now, the revenue side of it. Trying to, as best we can to, looking at the projections based on what's happening now. We are being, I think, being a little bit conservative, but you probably better off to go conservative with revenue
Mm-hmm.
than go the other way. Page 12 is the expense side of it, of electric. Some of that, the FEMA expense and FEMA dues weren't that were, FMPA expenses expensive dues, we're under contract with them, so that's, the salaries. We're back to having one electric person right now.
Well,
Did you just hire somebody?
Mhm.
Yes, he just,
Oh, that didn't last long.
Mm-mm.
he was hired away.
Larry, do you know when our contract with FPL expired?
I believe
Did you
it's
say 2025?
25. I believe it's 25.
2025. Like I said, if I get retirement health insurance, all those numbers are just dropping in. The big one, the FPL bill, is the big, obviously the biggest one. We got the DEC Wheeling, the Glades Electric Wheeling, the FPL transmission. Those numbers are kind of, they are what they are. Kind of thing, along with power cost adjustment, they are, like I said, they are what they are. That's kind of where we are expense wise on, primarily making it balance to the revenue number. There's a reserve there about 183,497, which is a hedge there, I guess.
Yeah. What's your, what's this capital outlay generator? What is that for?
It's a portable generator, yeah.
Like the one we have now, Brad, the light bar?
No, this is a case generator.
Oh.
Be taken.
They want one to,
Everybody will utilize it.
The suitcase generator.
Run drills, saws, and stuff like that.
Sure.
page 13 starts the water revenue side. Again, we tried to go conservative here again on the revenue. Like I said, it's better than overestimate revenue. That $1,600,746 will bounce to the expense side of water, and then with water we have two. We have distribution and the water plant. Page 14 is water distribution. It's down. Overall, it's down a little bit because last year we had a truck in there. This year with we also increased all the personal expenses. But like I said, for the most part, we're trying to budget as close as we can in there.
I want to talk about the water plant.
Okay, page
Page,
15 is the water plant. We have requested a purchase of a pickup truck from CAFA for the water plant. And that truck is obviously seen its better days, but however, we will bring that truck back into town and it can be used around town, but obviously we need a new, need to replace that truck because it's, it is, like I said, the miles have gone up, so you see that down under CAFA, that capital outlay for CAFA, 45,000 for a pickup truck.
You're gonna keep the newer one in town and give them another one of ours?
No,
The new one's going out there
Oh, new one's going out
and
there.
the old one's coming to town because they have less miles to drive it in town.
Well, then the new one should be staying in town and giving them one of our ones.
But they do a lot of drive, taking samples to see, bringing it back and forth.
Okay. Okay.
but are you suggesting give them a newer truck that's already in town?
Yes.
So what
Yeah.
he's saying is like send Brad's truck to the water plant and let Brad have the new water. Is that what you're saying?
That's what my idea.
Oh, I thought you were saying
Have a
give
lot
them the
less
old
I
miles.
think that's what he's suggesting, but we'll get the truck here and we can go from
Yeah,
there.
then we'll figure it out.
Because one of the
Let them
problems-
fight over
because
it.
one of the problems is that truck is bought by
Yeah,
sewer.
right.
By the county.
We'll let them go to Blues over.
top of the salaries, right in line with everything else. They have, that other contractual services, they have a bunch of smaller type annual things that's in there. Communication utilities, like pollution insurance went up, that went up too. I didn't indicate that on my sheet. Of course, that like all the other insurances, it went up a little bit. Repair maintenance plant, chemicals, we've taken that up over last year, and it may, if it continues going up, we may have to up it some more. They've really gotten obviously a lot more expensive. And then down at the bottom, we have debt service expenses. We do have that USDA loan for the water, so. Yeah.
When we went to the water plant and toured it, and we built a little shed to go over the quag tank. And then we bought the telemetry or the wireless, upgraded all that for them. They had a laundry list the day they went out there. And one of the main things and not the electronics or the telemetry, was a third person with a license to help out. Because right now it's just the two gentlemen are out there, and one of them has to be, they don't have any days off. So or I guess I wouldn't say days off, but their schedule doesn't rotate like a normal. Yeah. But they asked a lot of stuff, and one of the things that they asked for, if you remember, was they wanted that big water tank. They wanted it painted. So my question, Larry, is I don't know what it would cost to paint that water tank. I know it's too late now to go out and ask for a price to see what it costs, but there was, like when we went out there, they asked laundry list of things, and we picked the most expensive thing, which was the telecommunications, I believe, and then we built a shed over this tank they wanted. But they had a list of stuff because it just hasn't been upgraded, like what we've been doing with the plant for so long. And we collect money from the sewer because of the water plant. I think we should ask them again, what's their laundry list, and throw the kitchen sink at us, and we pick a few things to keep upgrading what they're asking for. If we don't keep upgrading or give them the proper tools to do it, we can't expect them to do a job.
Now, we're also looking for putting in the Connie's working on getting funding to put the second train in out there for the water plant.
Yeah.
Because like I said, right now we just have the one train, so we're hopefully looking for funding for that. We still have some ARPA funding left that hasn't been yet.
How much is that?
We probably have, out of that ARPA funding, we probably have about 600,000 probably that's still sitting there. Now, and we've had also at one point in time looking at if we needed a grant match that would be sitting there, but they have through Craig A. Smith, they have a list of improvements to the water plant that they, deep well, putting in the second train, that kind of thing, which we're trying to get funding for. But like I said, at this point in time, we can probably start using some of that ARPA funding to upgrade facilities, to upgrade things. So that, and if that's the case, we can bring that forward back at any time and get that to. So we'll see what they need most, what they need at this point in time.
I'll just get a list from my.
How hard is it to hire someone with a license? Probably not too common with those.
There's the problem is with water plant, we have the two licensed operators out there. The third person we have out there is a maintenance person, and that person cannot get a license. So, we talked before about restructuring out there and putting in that third person is a C license, and Like I said,
So put somebody out there that doesn't have a license and send them to class and get the license?
encourage, yeah.
Oh.
That's what they want to do.
And
So then that person that can't get the license would have to come back to town?
go somewhere else. And we're also talking about that, doing a sewer plant, but they're gonna be called water plant trainee / operator. So, they come in at the trainee level and then, when they get the license upgrade.
So is that what you are gonna do?
We're gonna try to target them, that if they accept the job, that they are expected to get the license, and if they don't get it within, a period of time, then,
So is that what you're gonna do, or you are just talking about it now?
that's what we're gonna do.
Okay, sounds good.
So, the water plant and sewer plant.
And how long did it get that license?
You can take.
Is it a course, or is it like a
Go
whole?
take the test fast.
Yeah, but you need the actual.
Limited training.
I think you have to have hours under
That's what
someone
I'm
that has-
asking, like, do you have to have so many hours, and that's what I was asking. How long
Do
does it
you
take?
have somebody already hired that you would like to move out there?
It's not right now, thank you.
No, we do not.
And
You
that-
don't have anybody in mind that you think,
and we've kept this maintenance man out there for so long and has blocked that position from doing this. But it sounds like Larry's onto the,
Yeah, that's
Like-
good.
I'm good. Thank you, Larry. At 600,000, I'm gonna enjoy
And
that.
I'm not saying spend that all.
No, I know, but we can check off a lot of that little
Yeah.
stuff that they're wanting to do to keep it moving. All right, thank you, Larry, for explaining that.
Page 16 is the garbage side. That's the garbage side, we're running a little, revenue-wise, we're obviously, I think, running a little low. We're gonna try to increase under, pickups and one type thing, we're gonna try to come back with increases for that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the rates for that, right?
yeah.
And, page 17 is the garbage expense side. What I didn't, what we don't have in here, what we plan to do is, as far as trash carts, we got a quote from Toter for 96-gallon trash cart, 1,050 of them. We have about 900 and close to 1,000 buildings right now. The extra 50 would be surplus ones. That the price to get that would be $63,683. So I suggest that we use CAFA. We could use CAFA funding to purchase those cans. Yeah.
Now, these are the cans that we were talking about putting the grabber on the side of the truck.
Yes.
So we have to the expense of that as well.
We'll have, would have the truck also, I guess.
But our truck will work, we just have to adapt it, or do we have to get a whole new truck?
Our
It's-
truck will work. You can put the thing on the
Okay,
back.
that's what I
Yes.
thought, okay.
But obviously we are gonna come back with, soon with an estimate on getting a new truck. They have a sidewinder,
The side loader.
sidewinder, that could be, with the new cars in that truck, we could probably, have one person, doing garbage, and also with the bigger
No, I agree, we
containers.
need to do it, but I was just hoping we could adapt the truck we already have.
Well,
Well, we can
You
temporarily.
can't.
it's
It's not
called
gonna
a,
run.
it's a cart tipper is what it's called, and they throw them on there.
Because those
Just dump
trucks
them
aren't
on
cheap either.
But at the same time, if the garbage truck is, too expensive, we can put these cart tippers on the back of our trucks that we're using now and use them for a year, until we get to where, we can have.
What's that, 96,000? You know what you just said?
63
$63,000.
For the
63.
cans.
for 96-gallon
That's just for
cans.
the cans.
That's just what we can.
And the,
And everybody gets one, every household gets one,
Mhm.
They will be, they'll have it.
but they're like the size of two, really.
Yeah,
They'll have
everything was-
several numbers on the carts, so, we'll we usually,
Perfect.
it's gonna be a record of who gets it. If they wanna purchase one, they can come
Purchase
back
the
and
next
purchase one, but,
That, that's the type of garbage at my house, and it works pretty smoothly.
No, I agree.
Southern Sewer's gonna bring me two demos, a smaller truck and a large truck, at the end of this month or beginning of next, just to look at them.
so we can start the plan.
And they are,
They always tell me.
I don't know how many gallons, but they are much larger than the normal can.
Yeah,
They're saying
Now, will that allow us to, go to one day a week pickup throughout the entire city?
Probably still do two.
you should
Yeah, if
be
you
able
only
to
give
go.
them
You do the
one
whole
can.
town, do the whole town, but
You
I
wouldn't
don't
do
know.
everything. Well, they picking up, they closest said they pick up 900 a day.
900
We're about
kilos.
1,000, you're gonna be pushing it to get.
Yeah. Well, our street owners-
And at first, they don't really know how to use it, so it's gonna take
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
adjustment, so.
I still think we should, at least, and you might have said it, I think we should at least try and, when we get ready to purchase those cart tippers back of our trucks right now, in case that big truck goes hydraulic line. Cart tippers are only like $1,500, am I right?
Somewhere around that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just the thing that goes on the truck, one hydraulic line or whatever. And you roll it up there, you don't have to pick it up or
Yeah.
anything like that.
So the person has to get out of the truck and do
Well, that
it,
would be a two-man
It would-
operation
okay.
that day, you know, of course.
but we're trying to go to the one.
Right.
Bought a new truck and
Go ahead and increase the, I guess what we're gonna ask for capital for this cart too.
Yeah, well, we got some money and so.
How much are the garbage trucks with the tippers? With the, what do you call it, sidewinder, is that what you call it? How much is that truck?
They had a quote on there,
Yeah.
bring in demos,
Oh.
and they can give me a little bit.
Okay, I was just curious.
And they also have different sizes, you know, they have a small ones, and then they have, you know, originally they mentioned the small one, but I said that's probably not gonna work, because
Mhm.
you'd be making too many runs to
Yeah,
the landfill. But
We pick up on that good day, 7.5 tons, and the small one only holds like 4 or 5.
oh, yeah, no, yeah.
The big one holds 20. A little 22.
We're paying 910 on the tipping fees, 1,000, 10,000.
Do you want to talk about the rates at this point? Or are we saving that for a different?
Well, we
We
can.
only got 3 minutes left in the workshop.
Like I said, we make adjustments.
Okay.
So going back after, I asked for the money for the garbage can and also for other equipment to help.
that's what we have.
To do it for now,
Just the equipment.
so we can get a truck.
And that, in the near distant future, we'll be coming back, talking about a truck.
Yeah.
Page 18 is sewer, the CCPA portion of it. The revenue side is basically payroll reimbursements. On page 19, again, we plan to put 3 wastewater treatment trainees, operators out there. We have to include that in the budget.
Okay.
We currently we just have the one, I mean, we have one, our city sewer person out there, we use Al can use it.
Right.
So we'll try to bring our operators on so that we can have, you know, coverage like we'll have in the water plant.
Does one of these guys hold the same licenses that Al has now?
Van has taken
He's got to get his certification.
he's got finished his certification. He's worked out there, he has a lot of experience, but he's taken the test a couple times, he's got to retest again, but he's.
So somebody is working to be
Yeah.
and have everything that Al has.
Well, the new position will establish it as a trainee / operator and get it. And the thing is to give them a certain period of time to get them.
Okay. Thank you.
And when that certain period hits, we need to stick to it, because that's what's been happening. It's the same problem with the water plant and the sewer with the people that are trying to get their license.
The main sheets, there's a salary breakout sheet on everybody. There's the breakout of insurance and the other benefits kind of thing. And the numbers from these flow into the budget. So if anybody has any questions about that, who did what kind of thing. But basically, we did, I said, kind of across the board.
Mhm.
And then I'll make adjustments from tonight. Identified.
Oh, website.
It's on the agenda.
Oh, it is.
So, like I said, tonight's the workshop, we will be having the first public hearing on
Thursday, 7th.
7th, yeah.
And I won't be here. I have to work 24 hours that day.
But like I said,
Do you want to zoom in?
I can't, I'm on res, there's no service. The service is very spotty.
that one should be basically just approving things and moving on. We'll obviously have
It's tentative.
the second, the second public hearing. That's the ad that would be in the paper that you have there. That'll be updated after tonight. So.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, we looked down through this, and in every department, there's someone vacant for each one of them,
Mm-hmm,
and some of them have more than one.
mm-hmm.
And we've had, some of that is retention of our employees because of our pay. And I know we just sat here and talked about going up 5% across the board.
Mm-hmm.
But we looked at our code enforcement officer, she makes just as much as some of the guys outside do, getting 80 cents. We could raise that 5% more.
When do we have to go to $15 for everybody?
About 2 years.
26.
It would might retain our employees,
Can we bump them all up now? Is it too much for the budget?
and we're, excuse me, I didn't know.
Yes.
No. I'm just curious because, do we have it in the budget is the question.
No,
You don't have a budget.
Not yet. It's the 5% that's in there, but, and the thing is some of these vacant positions have been vacant since some of us, since I've been here.
But yeah, and some of the complaints of the people that are leaving now, they don't want to be on back of the garbage truck.
They don't want to go back to the garbage truck.
The last several,
Well, pay ain't gonna
Well,
fix
we're
that.
trying to fix that
and
anyway.
that's what we're trying to get
But
together.
but increasing pay ain't gonna fix that problem.
Before we,
I'm not saying we make a decision now.
no, I think it's something we definitely need to.
But
And like I said, we'll continue to work. We can find additional money. We can come back and do budget
Mhm.
amendments. We're not.
It's definitely something we need to look
The only
into.
one, obviously we have to have the millage set, go through that process, with the first and second.
And maybe the garbage fees will help us give us a little bit of
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
maybe.
That's it, yeah.
Is this open for input or?
No.
No,
we could come back and change. What I guess what I was saying is he come out with a number at 5%. Well, why didn't he come out with a number at 7%? And if 5% is all he thinks that can fit into the, he's the one that done the budget, we gotta go with him. But
Mhm.
we can ask him to
Mhm.
try and.
well,
fix that
there's some
problem.
positions you look on here and you're like, wow,
They make a lot.
that's, you could take away from some and,
Right.
We can't take away people's pay. They're already there.
no, but
It
you
is
don't,
his.
yeah, well, I'm not saying that. There's some that you got down 5 that you could probably shoot up to 7 and keep some at 3 if you had to.
How long is the parks or the streets? There's only one employee for that, right?
We,
Yeah.
we have one in the works for that right now.
Well, someone like that, the position not been filled over and
We
over
need
and
to look
over
at
again.
something.
Maybe we could take the money
Yeah.
from that position and break it up
Yeah,
above the 5% across the
Yeah,
board.
because if they're working with the 2 people they have and the third one hasn't been filled in 2 years, we probably don't need a third person.
And we just keep rolling it over into the budget, hoping that lineman's gonna show up here,
but he ain't coming.
but he ain't gonna be here. He'll be here as long as he
Yeah.
comes. But we have to keep it in there, and hopefully we will find someone one of these days for that.
And that's kind of something that we do need to look at.
But the lineman's
We're
different.
gonna wind up killing King.
Yeah, the lineman's different, but 3 people in parks, you might only need 2, so.
And obviously that's why the guy just left, he got offered a
The
great
money.
Yeah, we could compete with
Well,
that
I
if,
know,
even
that's
if we
what I'm trying
wanted
to
to.
tell
We
y'all, y'all
could
gonna have to
compete
come up
with
with that
that.
lineman job because there's too much money out there for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the per diem is not taxed, so they're-
Maybe
it's, it's free money to them, just for showing up.
Well, there you go. Good job, put it together. We're gonna look
Yeah,
over
good
it.
job.
And,
Let's look at it.
and I'll say, and at the same time, if anybody thinks of anything between now and the next meeting, even though you're not, you can, if you get a hold of them, you can put it in there for us to look at. That's what the workshop is for. I'm good, man.
Roll it.
Okay.
2010.
Need a motion.
Same time, right?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Jake, second by Jen. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.